Joining us live tonight to talk about Dick Clark's legacy is Tom Nakashima. He's with Sacramento Classic Rock Station 96.9 The Eagle. Tom, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you very much. That's a great piece. We got a call from Walt Gray today, your buddy, and I'm sure he was looking for the most ancient guy in Sacramento to talk about Dick Clark. But yeah, what a shock. I think people felt Dick would last forever.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit earlier. I think the interesting thing about him, and especially with you being in radio, is this guy had an impact no matter what generation you were in, right?
Exactly. It is generational, the comments that we've heard today. We've heard so many. There are a number of people who weren't even born back when American Bandstand was the thing. They know him from New Year's Rockin' Eve, of course. They know him from the Bloopers Show, $25,000 Pyramid, all those award shows. But for my generation, you know, guys who grew up in the 50s and 60s, he was American Bandstand. That's what you flipped on when you came home from school. And he taught us how to enjoy the rock and roll of that era. He taught us how to dress. That's what teenagers looked like. And so that's what I will always remember him for.
You know, part of the reason that people credit him with bringing rock and roll into the mainstream was that he didn't make it scary for the parents. He looked the part, everybody was pretty clean cut, and that sort of made it acceptable to not only the kids watching, of course, loved it, but also their parents were like, okay, we can deal with this.
Exactly. I think that when you think about it, you look back at the early days of American Bandstand, it was necessary for this kind of music, which was, I'm sure, thought of as pretty rebellious at the time, but it had to come into everybody's homes, and that's how it became mainstream. It had to be acceptable for moms and dads and other kids. So the artists wore ties, they got their hair cut, the kids looked great, and I think that became a part of American life.
You know, it's hard not to think about just the next step, and with this generation is thinking about Ryan Seacrest. I mean, Dick Clark was really like his mentor, and he's kind of taken that role, being involved in everything. Do you think that he is kind of the next Dick Clark?
Apparently, you know, this is the kind of path that he's taken. There are lots and lots of people who have great talent, but for me and my generation, there will never be another Dick Clark.
Well, Tom Nakashima, we appreciate you coming in. Great memories to think back to the 50s and 60s, and we'll look for you there on the Eagle radio station.
Thank you so much.
Okay.